FDA investigates Elevidys' death. What you need to know. Imagine the shock of a groundbreaking therapy linked to a child's death. The FDA is currently investigating the tragic demise of an 8-year-old boy who underwent Sarepta Therapeutics gene therapy, Elevidys, for a severe muscular disorder. This incident, which took place on June 7th, sent Sarepta's stock plummeting by over 3% in after-hours trading. But here's where it gets controversial. Roche, Sarepta's partner outside the US, asserts that the boy's death in Brazil was not connected to the therapy. The child, diagnosed with Duchenne muscular dystrophy, received Elevidys but wasn't part of a clinical trial. Roche emphasized that the attending physician deemed the death unrelated to the gene therapy, and all necessary reports were filed with local health authorities. The company is still meticulously collecting and analyzing data from this event. Sarepta has been under the regulatory microscope lately. 2 non-ambulatory teenage boys and a 51-year-old man, all recipients of either Elevidys or its experimental counterpart, SRP 9004, succumbed to acute liver failure. In response, the FDA requested Sarepta to halt all Elevidys shipments in the US. Roche followed suit, pausing shipments in several countries outside the US. This FDA directive came on the heels of Sarepta's disclosure of the SRP 9004 related fatality. The reporting was handled by Mariam Sunny and Kamal Chowdhury in Bengaluru, with editing by Devika Syamnath. And this is the part most people miss. While the immediate focus is on the tragic deaths, the broader implications for gene therapy advancements hang in the balance. Should we be more cautious with experimental treatments, or is this an isolated incident? What are your thoughts? Do you think the risks outweigh the potential benefits of such therapies? Share your views in the comments. Roche's unwavering faith in gene therapy. Elevidys setbacks and future prospects. Roche's determination to conquer gene therapy remains unshaken, even as the Elevidys controversy casts a shadow over its ambitions. But here's where it gets tricky. How do you balance groundbreaking innovation with patient safety when the science is still in its infancy? The Swiss pharmaceutical giant CEO, Theresa Graham, has made it clear. Roche isn't backing down from the challenges of gene therapy despite the recent setbacks. And this is the part most people miss. The company's conviction isn't just about hope. It's rooted in a belief that the future of medicine hinges on mastering these complex therapies, even if the path is fraught with risks. Let's rewind. In April, trials for Elevidys were paused after a 16-year-old patient in the US died following treatment. Roche, which markets the drug outside the US, halted all commercial distribution for non-ambulatory patients, while the FDA ordered a US shipment stoppage. Earlier this week, Roche extended the pause to all countries where Elevidys approvals depend on FDA clearance. Yet Graham insists these incidents haven't shaken Roche's faith in gene therapy as a transformative modality. Gene therapy will be a cornerstone in treating human disease, she told Fierce Biotech. The science is harder than we expected, but the promise is undeniable. But here's the controversial twist. While Roche clings to its vision, the broader industry is retreating. Pfizer pulled its hemophilia B treatment Becvez, and Bluebird Bio, once a $10 billion gene therapy pioneer, was sold for a mere $49 million upfront to private equity. Even Roche itself has scaled back its Spark Therapeutics unit, which it acquired for $4.3 billion in 2019. So, is Roche's optimism justified, or is it doubling down on a sinking ship? Graham argues that the risks are worth it. We will crack gene therapy. Over time, we'll deliver meaningful treatments. Roche isn't just betting on gene therapy. It's also doubling down other high-stakes projects. Take prasinezumab, a Parkinson's drug candidate that failed a phase 2 trial in December 2024. But Graham sees potential in the data. There's a hint of something there, she said, citing long-term follow-up results from an open-label study suggesting a clinical benefit. Given the 50-year plateau in Parkinson's treatments, we can't ignore this lead. Yet skeptics might ask, is this just grasping at straws in a field desperate for breakthroughs? Meanwhile, Roche's obesity pipeline is undergoing a strategic rethink. CT13, a calm-up therapeutics asset, was axed after Roche deemed it uncompetitive. but Graham remains bullish on combinations. Obesity is intertwined with 200 other diseases, she explained. Our portfolio's strength lies in tackling comorbidities. That's why the $1.6 billion acquisition of Zealand Pharma's amylin analog, petrelintide, makes sense. Patients might need different weight loss depths or tolerability profiles, she said. Amylin gives us that flexibility. And what about the future of Roche's M&A strategy? Graham stayed coy, but emphasized the hunt for transformational deals across neurology, oncology, immunology, and beyond. We're always on the lookout for game changers, she said. When asked about her most exciting readouts, she gussed over fenebrutinib's phase 2 results in relapsing MS. This could be a giant leap for patients, she said. But will these bets pay off? Or are they just another round of high-risk, high-reward gambles? As Roche navigates this tightrope between innovation and caution, one question lingers. Should the industry prioritize short-term safety over long-term breakthroughs? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you think Roche's all-in approach to gene therapy is the right move? Or is the field too unpredictable to justify such bold bets? Share your take in the comments below. The crisis over Sarepta's Duchenne therapy. Lessons learned. The turmoil surrounding Sarepta Therapeutics' Duchenne therapy is nothing short of a crisis. But there's a profound lesson hidden within this chaos. In just a few tumultuous days last week, Sarepta faced a perfect storm of challenges. The company announced significant job cuts, acknowledged the death of another patient undergoing one of its gene therapies, and received a request from the FDA to halt shipments of its marketed product, Elevidys, for Duchenne muscular dystrophy. Despite the FDA's urging, Sarepta decided not to comply. Since then, Sarepta's stock has plummeted by 30% over the past week and a staggering 90% since the start of the year. A company that seemed on track to become a powerhouse in biotech is now in a state of dramatic decline. However, this narrative isn't merely about Sarepta's missteps in communicating with the FDA. It serves as a stark reminder of the dangers associated with lowering the standards for evidence required for new medications, not just once, but repeatedly. This saga also highlights the incentives such practices create within the biotechnology sector. This is a cautionary tale about the pitfalls of rushing groundbreaking products to market without thorough validation. As we delve deeper into the complexities of gene therapy and other cutting-edge treatments, understanding these risks becomes crucial. But here's where it gets controversial. Should biotech companies prioritize speed over rigorous testing, especially when dealing with life-threatening conditions like Duchenne muscular dystrophy? And this is the part most people miss. The rush to market can sometimes overshadow the importance of patient safety and long-term efficacy. These events raise important questions about the balance between innovation and caution in medical research. How can we ensure that the excitement of new treatments doesn't lead us to overlook critical safety considerations? What measures can be put in place to prevent similar crises in the future? We invite you to share your thoughts on these issues in the comments below. Does the urgency of treating rare diseases justify lowering evidence standards? Or should we always prioritize comprehensive clinical trials?